Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't the biggest fan of Wolverine. In fact, X-Men as a whole was a topic I was quite alienated from. I've never watched any of the Fox movies with the exception of Logan and the Deadpools, and my knowledge on mutants was the same as DC. I have no idea what I'm looking at. But now, times have changed, and especially since the hype and release of Deadpool and Wolverine, I have been more invested into the mutant side of Marvel as a whole. And after Marvel Spider-Man 2, my interactions in the game industry have risen, and I've gained a lot of respect towards Insomniac, and I know that they would deliver on their new Wolverine game, as well as they did with their track record on Spider-Man and Ratchet & Clank. So I've done my research, I've analysed the trailer many times, and I am here to present you with 11 hidden details that you missed while watching the Wolverine trailer, as well as some of my thoughts, but please do take everything in this video with a grain of salt. There isn't much to analyse here, it's just a minute-long teaser with literally 5 camera angles of one scene that isn't even gameplay, but there are as many Easter eggs as there are bodies in this bar. First of all, we open with this shot where if you zoom into the structure of the building, you can find a lot of names and writing marked around the whole thing. I couldn't find much links between the names, but one thing that did stand out was Taylor here, which was the actor for Gambit in the movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, and obviously it could be any Taylor here, but the reason I'm leaning towards Gambit is also because the name Stafford is also seen on the other side of the scene. That's a lot of scenes. And Ryan Stafford was a visual effects producer in the same movie as well as X-Men The Last Stand.
Coincidence? I think not!
And also, there are cards on the floor here, which is probably just because it's a bar and it's common to see cards in a place like this, but with 2 other hints of people that worked on a movie with both Wolverine and Gambit. I don't want to lead people in the wrong track here, but maybe there's a potential for seeing Gambit in this game. I told you to take a lot of salt. But moving on to things that we do know for sure, this game is mostly set in Madripoor, which is a popular location for Wolverine in the comics, as it's this John Wick style crime capital type city and was revealed for the first time in live action in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. This is backed by the many Madripoor signs in the bar, as well as the name of the place being the Princess Bar, which is taken right from the comics and is located in Madripoor. Now this is a multicultural city with the most popular languages being English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Hindi, Tamil, Chinese and Malay, and we see this represented across the bar with lanterns as well as Tamil writing behind the counter as well. This one says cocktails, but this one I wasn't able to get an exact translation of, so I asked one of my Tamil friends to help me out. Hey. Hi, do you know what this says?
Ayya, why me?
Because you know Tamil and your name is coincidentally mutant?
Oh yeah. Well, what is my superpower? Translating? Give me that. It says there is no payment. I swear if you come up with something ridiculous again, like telling me to subscribe or like the video, then I'm going to watch. I'm going to.
Moving on, we also see a sign saying 1048, which is the number designated to this universe, such as MCU being 616, Spider-Verse Miles being 1610, and so on. But the most interesting part about this is that this is the exact same universe as Insomniac Spider-Man games. Just above it, we see the words Radio Lowtown. Now, Lowtown is a district in Madripoor where first of all this bar is located in, but also the more centre for crime in the city. Just to the left of this, on these pipes, there's this one sticker. Now I don't want to roll another curveball, but this oddly resembles Sabretooth, who is a big nemesis towards Wolverine. So even if I'm wrong and this sticker isn't supposed to resemble him at all, it's gotta be a given that Sabretooth will show up at some point in this game. We also see the word Manhattan on this cocktail board. Now I know that that is a type of cocktail, but what if it could be hinting at the fact that Manhattan would be a playable area in the game? It had been revealed that this is planned to be a semi-open world game. This means the map isn't fully open like Spider-Man where you can go anywhere, but also isn't linear like The Last of Us where the map revolves around a specific path that you can't leave. However, it'll be in the middle of both, just like God of War. The world will be revolved around a path, but with restrictions that keep it from being a fully open world game. I suspect that there will be more than one map in this game, just like God of War has 9 realms, and Madripoor will most definitely be one of them, and seeing as they already have an entire build of New York designed for the Spider-Man games, I don't see why they wouldn't just have a segment of the game set in Manhattan. If they do this, one thing I would absolutely love to see is an interaction between Logan and Peter or Miles. I don't want a full interaction between Wolverine and Spider-Man as heroes. I mean, that would be really cool to see, but I would prefer that the game stay as standalone as possible so that it doesn't confuse new players too much. Maybe people who aren't Spider-Man fans will be playing just the Wolverine game, so adding full cameos like that might put people off, but just a little walking past Peter or Miles in the street, just like they did in the Science Center in the Miles Morales game, giving us fans to have a quick moment would be amazing to see. We also see a number plate on the other side that reads HLK181. Now this is a reference to the comic The Incredible Hulk issue 181, which was Wolverine's first full appearance in the comics. Now what are the chances we get Hulk himself in this game? I'd say it's quite slim. I think they want to take the more X-Men route with the storyline, and from some of the leaks that I will not talk about, but you know what I mean. But if they do bring in the Hulk, I'd really be happy to see that happen. Now above the license plate, we do also see the word Quebec, which is a place in Canada and is the first place where Wolverine met the X-Men, or specifically Professor X. X. Now back to what I was talking about, having different maps that are explorable. This could also be a possibility for one of those maps, but I think this one is more just as simple as a small Easter egg. Now I would also like to point out that this particular shot of Logan at the bar was recreated for the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and I find it quite cool how the game is taking some inspiration from the old X-Men movies, as I mentioned earlier, but also then with the trailer alone, continue to inspire the next Wolverine movie in the same universe. Now moving on from that shot, we then get a guy standing back up to attack Logan, and in front of him we can see this eye patch, which is a nod to a character he takes on called Patch, which is the identity he commonly visits the Princess Bar with. And we end with a shot of Wolverine protracting his claws, which if you pay really close attention, you can see how it rips through his skin to come out, which is exactly like in the comics, as his skin, flesh and tissue is sliced through every single time he uses them due to his regenerative powers. So that concludes my breakdown of the Wolverine trailer. If you have learned something new in this video, then let me know your thoughts of the trailer and the details in the comments below. And I hope you guys do enjoy this new style of videos that I'm trying out on the channel. I really think this is the step forward for me, as I'm trying to learn animation and I might as well just combine it with my existing content. Oh, and also this is my first video on other Marvel games other than Spider-Man. Let me know how it went and if you want to see me cover more of Wolverine PS5 or other Marvel games. Maybe I'll even cover other PlayStation games as well if that's what you guys really want. So thank you all for watching this, and I shall see you guys in the next one.